A pebble thrown in a pond causes ripples that spread in all directions. Each one of our actions creates an effect that ripples out into our world, impacting others and our future. This cannot be more true than in the context of the Palestine and Gaza conflict, a saga that has spanned several decades and continues to shape the geopolitics of the Middle East. The roots of this conflict can be traced back to the early 20th century, when Britain controlled Palestine. The Balfour Declaration of 1917 saw Britain supporting the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, causing tensions with the Arab population who formed the majority in the region. Fast forward to 1948 and the State of Israel is declared. With this, the First Arab-Israeli War begins. The result is a divided Palestine. The West Bank is annexed by Jordan and the Gaza Strip by Egypt. The conflict had just begun. The Six-Day War in 1967 sees Israel capture the Gaza Strip and the West Bank, among other territories. This war marks a significant turning point in the conflict, setting the stage for future disputes and negotiations. The late 20th century sees a series of peace agreements, such as the Oslo Accords in the 90s, which aimed to resolve the conflict. However, these agreements often fall short, and the conflict continues. In the new millennium, the situation remains volatile. Gaza is controlled by Hamas, a Palestinian political and military organization. Clashes, rocket attacks, and airstrikes are unfortunately regular occurrences. As we approach the present day, the conflict continues to evolve. In the last few years, tensions around the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound in Jerusalem have raised fears of renewed Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The Israeli army has faced criticism for demolishing Palestinian homes and granting building permits to Jewish settlers in the West Bank. This, coupled with the ongoing Israeli occupation and the lack of progress towards a Palestinian state, has fueled Palestinian frustrations and grievances. In the face of escalating tensions, international leaders and organizations strive to mediate and reduce the hostility. The United States, for instance, has called for calm and reaffirmed support for a two-state solution. Yet the path to peace remains elusive. To summarize, the Palestine and Gaza conflict has its roots in the early 20th century and has evolved over the decades, influenced by political, religious, and territorial disputes. The situation remains complex and volatile, with international efforts for peace often falling short. The quest for a solution continues as the world watches and hopes for a peaceful resolution. While the ripples of this conflict continue to spread, it's a stark reminder of how our actions can impact others and shape the course of history. The story of Palestine and Gaza is a poignant testament to this fact, reflecting the complexity of human nature and the challenges of coexistence.